We've also got in the, I think it's the light heavyweights, isn't it? Let's have a quick look. Sorry, I'm just going to live as Eric Anders versus Muniz. I'm pretty sure, I forgot, there's so many adverts, so many goddamn pop-ups that come up. Do you know what I mean? So, right, so this is on the prelims. And it might be even be on the early prelims. Is it? Early prelims? It is, yeah. Middleweight bout. Okay, so I'm sure Eric Anders did fight a light heavyweight at one point. But yeah, I think he's possibly dropped down. So yeah, middleweight bout. Andre Muniz against Eric Anders. Now this is quite an interesting one, to be fair. Because now Muniz, I don't know if you remember him, but do you remember when Jacare Souza got his arm snapped in that kind of Kimura type lock? Like snapped it in the middle at the top. It was his last fight. Anyway, Muniz is the dude that did that. Like, Muniz is a fucking submission wizard, man. He's so good. He's got something like 14 submissions in the UFC, which is absolutely mental. He is just that good on the ground. Like, there are a few that are as good as his. Now, my question here is he going to be able to get it to the ground? Because a lot of people are writing Eric Anders off in this one. Now, he's coming in as quite a sizable underdog. And the thing is look, when you look at his record, there's nothing that special on Eric Anders' record. But he was on quite a good run until he got beaten really soundly by Khalil Roundtree. But remember, that was the first time we'd seen Khalil Roundtree come back from Thailand, where he came back looking like a completely new fighter, and he basically just kicked the shit out of Eric Anders' legs and just beat the fuck out of him for like 3 rounds. And it was a great performance from Khalil Roundtree. Now, we haven't really quite seen Eric Anders be able to put together a win streak like he was doing before that fight since then. But he has had his wins here and there. And what I would say about Eric Anders is he's quite a solid fighter in every area. He doesn't really have any glaring weaknesses. I think he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, which is not bad. Obviously, if it goes down to the ground, like brown belt or not, it is curtains against Andre Muniz. But that's the question here. It's like, thing is, Eric Anders, he was a very high level American football player. He's a very robust, like, kind of tough guy. I don't think he's going to be easy to get down to the floor. I think that, Muniz, he's not a slouch on the feet. He has got 4 knockouts in it to his record. None of those were in the UFC though, and you have to think, were people so afraid of the grappling that they were kind of, letting their guard down and whatever? I don't know. I think he's going to have to do Muniz is going to have to do a lot of standing first, a lot of striking, in order to get the fight down to the ground, because I don't think that you're shooting a power double on someone who is stout as Eric Anders, so because he's a strong big guy, like I said, former linebacker for Crimson Tide, man, like that's really quite high level American football. And from an athletic standpoint, I feel like Eric Anders is probably going to be the better athlete here as well. So I don't know, like I said, I'm going to take a punt on Eric Anders, football pun intended, because I just feel like he's probably the slightly better athlete, and I'd think unless it goes down to the ground, like if it goes down to the ground, Anders is probably getting submitted. But I'm not 100% sure that it's going to end up there, because I think it's going to be tougher for Muniz to take it down to the ground than everybody thinks. So I am literally just going with Eric Anders for the win, and I haven't even got the odds up. What a pleb. What am I doing? Eric Anders, 2.25 to get the win. So that's not bad, actually. You're getting better than even money there. And like I said, there are ways for him to win. The biggest way for him to win is to keep his ass off the ground. Keep your ass off the ground and just strike, outpoint, just try and hit him with shots and try and wear him down and use your athleticism to get that win. That's what I would say in that one. So obviously I'll be taking a look at the main event, Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. Very intriguing matchup. I've got a lot to say on it. There's a lot of potential terrible bets to be placed, but I've got a really good breakdown on that one, and it's on the Patreon if you want to go and check that one out. £1 a month. Honestly, it's a bargain. You get loads of extra content, not least of which is you get the main event breakdown every week, and that is exclusive on the Patreon. So go and check it out. If you've got any interest in that fight at all, go and check it out.